Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Aquarian Mind podcast. Today's podcast, episode number 70. I'm your host, Jamel Crothers. It's Mondays with Mello, so it's time to delve in to a topic that is very important to me. And the topic today is I don't compete with others, I compete with myself. Now, this is going to be a good one today, and I promise you that. So, before we get started, I want to share something. It's not about being better than someone else. It's about being better than you were yesterday. And for me, I always live by you're only as good as your last accomplishment. You're only as good as how great you were yesterday. So today is a new day for me. I may have finished some content yesterday that I've been working on, but today I am giving you a podcast that's very important to me. Excuse me. Now, the biggest thing for me is to get better at my craft every day. Now, do you know how I do that? Well, I'm going to tell you. By competing with myself. Now, if I sat and worried about what everyone else was doing, I wouldn't have progress. And I would not have published all the books that I have so far. Now, I always say you're only as good as the last accomplishment you achieved, which I just said a moment ago. Now, every day I accomplish something on this journey of mine. Do I get complacent? Nope. The reason why? Because I have more to get done. I always have something that needs my attention. Now, I do everything on my own for the most part. I would say about 90% of it. Now, there are a few things that I need other people to do for me, and I pay them for it. You know, marketing my books, sometimes making a book cover or two, doing interviews and things of that nature. I'm not good at everything. Now, that's the self-awareness part in me, and that's something that I learned from one of my favorite entrepreneurs, in Gary Vaynerchuk. Now, for me, everything that I write about and what I'm thinking, it's to engage people, and my goal is also to write better than the last book that I wrote. So most of my books, well, they are series, and with each book, I'm looking to get better. I'm challenging myself daily, and I believe in my talents and abilities, and that's just, what I feel makes me special and unique. I write books in a prose format. I've separated myself from the pack, and I'm not someone that pretty much follows the rules, as everyone says. Now, I do write prose books on societal issues, and it's something that's never been done. And when I first started publishing books, I used to, read articles on how to market myself. And I would read things that said to study the competition and see how other authors got their audience and see how they do things. Now, it's a good thing that my mind told me not to do that, because I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't listen to my mind and my gut. See, the type of books I write are totally different from what other people are writing about. So I can't sit and study a sci-fi author and how that person got their audience, or someone that writes children's books or things of that nature, because, it's not my audience and it doesn't fit the mold. And while everyone's busy collecting email lists, that's just another thing that I'd have to do. I'm busy creating content that people can listen to on an everyday basis, which is my podcast. Because, the reality of it is not many authors are sharing what their life is like being an author, and not sharing how to stay motivated, and not sharing the in-depth book insight that goes into writing the books. So, as you can see, I'm doing my job and standing out from the crowd. And that's my goal at all times. Now, if you're going to go on a journey to greatness, I will tell you, be mindful that you don't need to compete with others. Everyone's journey is different. And pretty much what everyone else has done, it may not work for you. Now, me collecting email lists, it's not my thing. I'd rather people just subscribe to what they want, listen to podcasts, watch my YouTube videos, read my blogs, whatever they're comfortable with, go for it. That's all I ask, is just to take some time, look into my content, listen to my content, whatever works for you, go for it. Want to buy a book? Great. Want to buy an audiobook? Great. I make everything affordable. Not about trying to do a cash grab or anything like that. That's another thing that I'm not really trying to do. And that's why I self-publish everything. I don't feel the need to want to go with a publishing company and doing all that stuff. And you know what the funny part is? I watched a YouTube video not too long ago with a businessman and entrepreneur named Grant Cardone. I don't know if you guys know who he is, but he's a very solid entrepreneur that does a lot of different things, and he has his hands in plenty of different things. Now, he explained how he published 2 books. One he self-published on his own, and one he published with a publishing company. Now, I'm not sitting here knocking publishing companies, but he has the same mindset that I'm thinking. He went with the self-publishing route for his first book, and it did amazing. And he got it done in a certain amount of time. And when he went with the publishing company, it took entirely too long, and he didn't accomplish the goals that he wanted to with going with a publishing company. So what I'm saying is to go on your own journey, and don't worry about what everyone else is doing. And plus, when you get to where you're supposed to be, you can say that you did it your way. And you want to say that you did it your way. Which is the exact reason why I'd rather learn by doing instead of listening to the gurus and spending money on classes with content that pretty much I can find for free on the internet for the most part. And it's true. Gary Vaynerchuk says a lot of the things that you can learn, you can find on the internet for free. And I'm going to sit here and tell you that even if I was to sit and study the authors who write on social issues, I'm still going to be someone that has to do it my own way. And I say that because I write my books with a different loop to it. And the formatting of it is different. Writing it from a certain perspective is different. I'm writing it from a character's mind, and they're sharing what they're thinking. I'm not creating a book where it's dialogue and it's a traditional type of book. So for me, I feel that if I continuously do the work that I need to do, it's going to help me to get to where I want to be. And what I want to tell you guys is compete with yourself. Set goals for yourself. Be consistent in what you're doing. Don't stop until you are successful in where you want to be. And when you do achieve success, don't get complacent. Because for me, I've had some pretty good moments where I've achieved something or accomplished something. And the one thing that I try not to do is run on social media and say, hey, I accomplished this, or someone reached out to me for that. It's not my thing. For me, I don't really care about the awards and the accolades, even if they do come along. For me, it's about creating the content, having a long career in this, and leaving a legacy in what I'm doing. And that is what's more important to me than to have the awards and the accolades and to buy all of these luxurious materialistic things. I've always been a simple person, and you got to do what works for you. You got to live the lifestyle that works for you. And I'm not someone that really likes attention that much, especially for all of the wrong reasons. So even if, I am to, get the awards and the accolades and stuff like that, I'm not going to be posting it on social media, because guess what? You're only as good as you were yesterday. And that's why I'm someone that, even if I achieve like some bestsellers list or whatever the case is, which I'm probably not even going to really care for because my books aren't on Amazon anymore. But the whole bestsellers list, it's like a temporary and momentary thing. And it's great. But guess what? There's someone behind you that's trying to achieve that goal too. And then your books are going to pretty much, that book that you became a bestseller on, yeah, it'll fade off after a while. And then, well, your audience is going to want something new. And that's why I am constantly and consistently writing new books, writing new content, challenging myself, and not worrying about, oh, that author wrote that book, or oh, that author wrote that book. The average author takes about 2 to 3 years to write a book. For me, I'm publishing books every 3 to 4 months. So just think about that. And at this point, I don't know what number I'm even at as far as my books. All I know is that I'm getting closer to my goal of writing 60 books. And that's my goal. And when I get there, it'll be a great achievement. And I'll reevaluate where I am. And I'll find out how much more of a competitive edge I have within myself to continue to write more books. And there's the potential of me writing more than 60. But for now, that's my main goal. And that's what I'm trying to get to by the end of 2024. And am I on pace? Yes. Am I on pace to write more than that? Yeah, I am. But I don't want to get too excited over that. So I will never be someone that's going to worry about what the next person is doing. I want to worry about what's next for me. And if that is something that is going to keep me fulfilled, then I'm going to continue to do it. So that's my podcast for today. You guys know where the website is, aquarianmindwrites.com. Be good, everyone, and go accomplish your goals.